as we hop in to game number 1 on Solaris. Spawning in the upper right-hand corner, it is the Blue Terran for Psystorm Gaming, Spirit. One of the strongest European Terrans. His opponent in the lower left-hand corner, representing Starlight Twinkle, it is the red Zerg player, Wayne. Wayne has actually been looking pretty damn good recently, and I feel like he's had some solid matches against some of the very strongest players. Excited to see how he does here against Spirit. Spirit's opening with the low ground 2 racks Reaper play, which I love to see. It is funny how this one persists even post the Cyclone change. I thought for sure that was going to kill this build off, but still goes. It's still here. It has not died. But Wayne should be pretty practiced against this. I've been saying a lot lately that Wayne plays like Dark. He looks like Dark when he's playing. It feels... His playstyle feels very Dark-esque. But I haven't seen too much of Spirit lately, just personally. Haven't caught a lot of his games, haven't been able to cast a lot of his games. So I'm excited to see how he does here against Wayne. I think Wayne more often plays in the EPT Cup, the America's EPT Cup, so I usually get a chance to cast some of his games. But Spirit usually sticks to Europe, I feel like, so I see too many of his games. Europe's it's a tough EPT Cup for me to cover. That 9 a.m. start, it's rough on a day off. I don't know about you guys. I'm not much of a morning person. If I get a chance to sleep in, I am sleeping in. Spirit's going to come over with the first Reaper. Second one is on the way, and third one being built. I don't see a fourth one started up. Oh, as I say that, though, Spirit's going to start it up. Maybe seeing an opportunity to get some more damage done. For a long time, the 3 Reaper opening was the standard. That was the most common way to open with this 2 racks Reaper play. I have seen some 4 Reaper action, but as I say that, Spirit cancels that 4th Reaper and drops the factory down right back here. Kind of an awkward Sim City, but looks like he might want to take the reactor with the factory afterwards. Not too sure. So we'll just be the 3 Reapers kind of bumping around. Wayne does not seem too pressed to take a 3rd base. Just going to drop the Roach Warren. Might consider getting aggressive here, but I don't see a lair or anything, and there's no link speed. So Wayne, he could get aggressive with a handful of Reapers, but just has to be a little bit careful about potential Cyclones that could be coming out the other side. What's this factory doing? Okay, it is going to go to the reactor. Spirit has not been able to see the Roach Warren, and he hasn't been into the main base. I don't know if he knows that there's not even link speed. There's 3 Roaches on the way, and Wayne, I think, is just going to push across with a few of those. He does start up that lair, drops an Evo chamber behind this very 2-base Roach. I think Spirit might be getting the idea, but... Ooh, it's double Hellion. If Spirit realized what he's up against, this would just be double Cyclone, and it would be a hard hold here for him. The double Hellion, though, it makes me worried a little bit. He's following it up with 2 more. Spirit does not realize that there are Roaches coming out of Wayne. But as I say that, Wayne stops building Roaches. It was just those 3. So he just has Roaches, a few Roaches, a few Slowlings, and a couple of Queens trying to body block the front. It's going to make it very hard for Spirit to get in with any Hellions, but also Spirit's just kind of chilling at home. He's got 3 CC, and this feels like Wayne needed to get some damage done. Now he's stuck 2 base versus almost 3 base here. Spirit is close to just being able to take this base. But I think he's very concerned with what's going on Wayne's side of the map, and his Queen paths the wrong way. She's going to take a lot of damage. She will stay alive as Wayne pushes Spirit back. The Roaches finally spotted. I don't know if Spirit had even seen them before this. But Spire is going to be the play for Wayne. 2-base Spire. It feels very late. It's off the back of the Roaches. Link speed is on the way as well, so I don't know, with +1 melee, it feels very weird for Wayne. And he is going to get that third base up now, but if Wayne isn't able to get aggressive, Spirit's just going to be able to take his own third base. Spirit is building a bunker out front. He's feeling like Wayne's about to attack. Look at, he's morphing Hellbats at home. He's building a bunker. He's got double Cyclone popping. He's just desperately trying to get out. Anti-Roach. And Wayne, I don't think he did this on purpose. I think he inadvertently fooled Spirit into thinking this was an attack. Spirit saw those 3 roaches. He didn't know they had been out for like 2 minutes already. And that there's a Spire on the way. He's just ready for a big roach attack. This is such a Wayne thing to do. Go for a big roach shove. Something to try to catch your opponent off guard. Spirit's super ready for it. There's 7 mutas on the way, though. And +1 coming down for those mutas. And I love this from Wayne. I think he really played into his image and played into the way that he usually plays. And maybe called a little bit of an audible here at the start of the game to throw Spirit off. The scan goes down to see, is the third base being populated? And it's just gas. And I think that might let Spirit know what's up. Seeing the mutas is definitely going to let him know what's up. He's going to head towards that speed zone here and just try to get as much damage done as he can. The mutas going to be able to help clean this up, taking down both of the medevacs. A couple mutas did die here, I think. 3 mutas went down to kill that double drop, which it's nice to kill the double drop, but that is pretty painful. Question is, can Spirit hold back at home? Where are his units? I feel like he's supposed to have more units than this, but he just doesn't. He has 6 Marines right now. I guess that double drop was a significant amount of his army. The Hellions dive in here, but the Lings are going to get on top of them. A couple of mutants and the Queen to help out as well as they morph into Hellbats. But remember, this is the third for Wayne. He only has 45 drones. He is droning up a little bit now, but 5 drones going down is so painful here. But at the same time, on the other side of the map, Spirit's third base feels very exposed with no Hellions out anymore. The Lings are going to dive in here. Cyclone's trying to get some nice lock-ons. The SCV's trying to get a repair on the bunker. I think they will get the repair, but is it going to be enough? The mutas are killing the SCVs. The repair is not enough, and all of a sudden, Spirit just has no army, and he's going to be forced to tap out. Somehow, some way, Wayne wins that game. That did not feel like a game Wayne should have won. Just such a low eco. Went into roaches and then back into speedlings with +1, but then was also going towards mutas on such a low economy. Didn't feel like it should be possible. But I think just keeping that Terran army super low. Spirit not able to get enough units out to really fight. So once he lost that double drop, it was just a scramble to try to get some stuff together. And Wayne didn't do the Zerg thing and just hit the drone button for 100 years. He instead did the Wayne thing and built more units and then won the game. Kind of crazy. Really nice victory there for Wayne. I feel like that really speaks to the comparison that I like to make between Wayne and Dark, though. And Wayne playing into it big time. I think he genuinely fooled Spirit. Spirit was so ready for a roach attack, like a roach lane push off 2 bases. And then it was just like mutas. Completely fooled. It shows you how important it is to be able to scout everything. Why we talk about players like Serral or whoever, just being able to scout everything all the time, it seems like. Why they're able to do so well. Oh, thank you to Mark BT for the $25 Matcherino contribution. Really appreciate that. Trying to get that Matcherino going. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for supporting. Mark BT with the big ups. I'm going to refill my drink real quick. And then we're going to get into game 2 of Spirit versus Wayne, which is already shaping up pretty nicely. Speaking of shaping up nicely, the Cowboys currently beating the Eagles. I don't know if we have any football fans in chat. Go Cowboys. Keep that energy up. Second half, boys. The only bad thing about casting StarCraft right now is I can't watch that Cowboys game. Spirit win one game? Not yet. It is currently 1-0 Wayne. The Cowboys game right now is 24-6 over the Philadelphia Eagles, who are arguably the best team in the league right now. But not today. Well, hold on. There's a whole second half to go, so I'm not going to get ahead of myself. But let's get into game 2 of some StarCraft here. Spawning in the lower left-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Psystorm Gamer, Terran player, Spirit. His opponent in the upper right-hand corner, the Red Zerk for Starlight Twinkle, it is Wayne. Ooh, Wayne going for a little early gas, early pool action here. Love to see that. Was that a 17-16 on the pool and gas? Something of that nature. So, wondering if we're going to see roaches or what here at the start. Kind of interesting. Somebody saying Spirit is in a slump. So, going to be tough to go up against Wayne here. Wayne, I actually think, has been looking very strong lately and playing some of the best StarCraft of his career that I've seen. So, I do feel like this is going to be a tough one for Spirit then if he's not in the best shape, perhaps. Also, I feel like Spirit does really well in standard games. If the game is just standard macro, I think Spirit gets like a +5 to his win percentage. But Wayne doesn't love to play standard. He's not a standard kind of guy, you know? He likes to keep it fresh. He likes to keep it spicy. He likes to make the game kind of weird. That is really, at the end of the day, why I compare him to Dark. He likes those early game pressures, those mid game big attacks. He doesn't mind being on a low economy like we saw last game. He will make something happen when it feels like he shouldn't be able to. And it could be a powerful tool, especially against somebody like Spirit, who, again, like, his standard macro is so sick. But I don't know that he necessarily is the best when the game does get weird like that, right? When he's really unsure of what his opponent's doing, it felt like he just was kind of stuck. Whereas I think a lot of players, a lot of the best players, if they're not sure what their opponent's doing, they stick to their guns because they know what they're doing can beat it if they do it perfectly, right? That's like, this would be like a Maru or a Beyond way to look at it. Like, doesn't matter what you're doing, my build will beat you unless you're perfect, and I think I can be more perfect than you. We'll see what happens in game 2 here as the Baneling Nest has been spotted now. And Wayne is going to Bane bust. Spirit has realized this. Finishing up the CC, bringing it up to the high ground. He's going to go for the wall. Putting down a third CC just to help keep the wall going. Landing this command center, building another supply depot. But I think this depot blowing up will get him right through. Wayne's going to go for the middle reactor there. Ooh, is there a space to get in? Not quite. CC does not have a lot of hit points. Next set of Banelings, though, coming in, trying to get some damage done. The CC very low. There's the cancel. The Lings are in. The SCVs have been pulled. Does Spirit have enough here? It's just a few Marines. A Hellion pops. And that is going to be the cleanup there. And just like that, hey, Spirit puts a point on the board. Wayne trying to combo in and just get a quick game 2. This is a best of 3. So it's kind of a nice choice there, I think. You're up 1-0. You know, hey, this is kind of my opportunity. I have a bit of a throwaway game here to reset it. Now it's a best of 3, really, at the end of the day. But it feels like that's a way to lose a game that doesn't really take any momentum away. Kind of a fun one there. Now we'll head into game number 3. As I say game number 3, I put the score to 3, but that's not the score. It is 1-1. And spawning in the lower right-hand corner of Golden Aura, it is Spirit. And his opponent in the upper left-hand corner, it is Wayne. I'm glad you appreciated my pronunciation of Hecate. I know there's a lot of pronunciation questions out there. You know, we love it. We love it. We love Wayne. This is beautiful. This is a beautiful thing. I don't know what else to say. Spirit not going for the low ground wall, so he's really not likely to scout this. We'll see if he sends an SCV out. Against Wayne, I don't hate the idea of SCV scouting a Zerg. Most of the time, I think like the top Terrans, especially European Terrans, they really have a problem with trying to optimize builds to kind of to a fault. And this rubs off on a lot of like Master and GM Terran players that I see like streaming and things where they're like, well, they push the glasses up on their face. The SCV Scout cost you exactly 87 minerals, and you could use that 87 minerals to optimize your build just a little bit more. And I'm like, yeah, but you could have scouted the proxy hatch and then won the game instead. So not SCV scouting here for Spirit is just going to put him in kind of an awful spot. The SCV could have been here spotting a Roach Warren. And this would be a totally different game. And all of a sudden, Spirit is now low ground expanding against the proxy hatch with the Roach Warren halfway done. 2 Lings on the way. And this Reaper also. Ooh, his Reaper is going to path this way. I thought it was going to jump out the base. So it will see the creep. And suddenly, Spirit is like, oh, man. Now we need a clutch defense here from Spirit. I actually think you cancel this command center. Can you hold the low ground here? There's roaches on the way already. Couple of Lings coming across the map. Oh, actually, they spawned here, didn't they? Overlord trying to stay alive. Bunkers going down for Spirit. No Queen on the way for Wayne. I'm a little surprised to see that. The Lings trying to get in, trying to get a sneak peek. The factory and the second barracks are nowhere near done. So the roaches are going to get out. SCV's trying to stay alive in this bunker. Second bunker getting targeted down by the roaches. Well, they got to be careful here. As they start morphing into Ravagers. Wayne smartly keeping 2 of the roaches that aren't ready to morph so that they can defend the 2 that are morphing and start these vials landing on the bunkers. There's a Reaper and 3 Marines out right now. It's just single Marine production at the moment. Spirit is going to be able to finish this command center on the low ground. But just not a lot of DPS here for Spirit. It makes it really tough to kill these roaches that have quite a bit of hit points. And Wayne can just pull them back, let them start regenerating, or morph them into Ravagers. There's 3 more on the way here for Wayne as he's going to keep laying down these vials and forcing a lot of lost mining time here as well. Wayne's only on 14 workers, but right now, Spirit's really only mining with about, what, 15? Yeah, 16, I think. So it's not that dissimilar here. The Cyclone out is huge, and that's going to get a kill there. Nice connection for Spirit. Another Ravager morphing as these vials keep landing down on the bunkers, just trying to chip them down. There's another lock-on from the Cyclone. The Ravager pulls backwards. The Cyclone goes down at the expense of 1 Roach. But I think Wayne is happy to pay that price. Bunker continuing to stay alive. This bunker has eaten so much damage between the 2 of them. They have probably eaten a couple thousand damage already. Spirit just keeping them repaired up. This one, ooh, gets low, but it does stay alive. Wayne is completely all in. There is no recourse here. There's no getting out of this. He's trying to be careful, but I think he needs to start laying down some vials on the back side of this and trying to kill some of these SCVs, but it might be too late now with the siege tank out. Getting pretty worried for Wayne, because next time he goes in, I think he might lose one of these low Ravagers. And finally, I think that was an SCV kill there. More Ravagers being morphed. There's that first tank shot hitting. Tank range is right around here. But there isn't full vision, I think. Oh, no, you know what? There is full vision for that tank. So these Ravagers have to be super careful, particularly this one, but even some of these other low ones. And Wayne's just going to go for it. He's trying to take down that siege tank. He will get it. Files down some of the bunker as well. Still a lot of Ravagers alive here. 7 Ravagers. They're pretty low. Ooh, but the SCV is on the wrong side of the bunker now. Another tank pops out, though, and gets a Ravager kill. A second Ravager kill. Oh, my God. Down to 5 Ravagers. And that's a lot of Marines out now for Spirit. They've been coming out just a couple at a time. But it looks like it's going to be enough here to hold off this proxy hatch. Because I just don't think Wayne's going to have enough to bust either of these bunkers at this point. I think he needed to pressure a little harder, a little earlier. There's no base back at home for Wayne. 10 SCVs have gone down, but Spirit, I mean, he's going to have mules. I just don't think there's any way for Wayne to get this damage done anymore. There's the GG. And Spirit will go up 2-1. So we started off with a Wayne victory. We were all like, oh, I don't know, man. I don't know about Spirit, man. But Wayne going for a couple of different cheeses here. And neither of them working. Spirit defending beautifully. And I talked earlier about how Spirit's macro game is like, it's very solid in the standard macro game. I think he's got a big leg up. But clearly his cheese defense is also quite good. So Wayne's going to have to be careful. As now it's match point for the Terran player. The reverse sweep. It's on the way. On the way. Can he do it? Can he complete it? Only one way to find out. As we hop into game number 4, I can count. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Oceanborn is Sizestorm Gaming's Spirit. Trying to finish him off here on Oceanborn. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner started off 1-0. Now finds himself in a position where he has to win 2 in a row. It is Starlight Twinkle's Wayne. It's funny because that first game from Wayne felt really awkward. It felt like he had a plan, but then for whatever reason, he decided not to go for that plan. I don't know what it was that happened there. With the, like, Roach Warren, kind of a later 2-base lair, low economy from Wayne. But the Spire play just caught Spirit so completely and insanely off guard that Wayne was able to take the win. But it's starting to feel like maybe that was luck more than a good build. I'm not too sure. Thinking back to that game 1, actually, I kind of wonder if Wayne had been building the Roach Warren anticipating heavier Reaper production out of Spirit or something, and then realized that wasn't what it was, so he built those 3 Roaches and then just stopped. Had to switch up the game plan a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to say. The game has been weird so far. The games have been weird so far. I do wonder if we're going to see at least a little bit more of a macro game. I mean, Wayne is building a natural hatchery, so slightly more of a macro game than the last couple, at least. It's funny, I was talking about it last game, but Spirit is going to SCV scout this game. He's realizing that, yeah, I think that is worth it. And he's just going to scout the edge of the creep here, go home. He's not too worried about what specific buildings might be in the main base. He sees that normally timed hatchery, and he's like, all right. Feeling comfortable back at home now. But I think it's funny that Spirit must have had the same thought that I did last game, which was like, maybe that little bit of minerals that I lose is worth not being surprised by like a proxy hatch or something. And I think he's right. I think that was a good call. Hey, what's up, Saito? Good to see you in chat. Hope you guys are all having fun out there. If you're coming into the stream now, we're covering the OSC Mid Season Playoffs number 2. Check out the bracket with the B command. But we're just going to be covering a few of these matches right now. There's only a few left, really. Starting with Spirit versus Wayne. We'll see who wins this and then goes up against Christianer. This is part of the OSC 24-hour marathon. that has been going on for like, this is asking a lot of myself to do this math, 19 hours? 18 hours? Something like that. We're going to close it out, the last 6 or so. I think it's 18 and a half hours. That's how long it's been going on. I know Dave Testa and Just Jordan were covering some of it. I don't know who covered before Dave did, though. I was asleep at that point, so I wasn't watching those games. But we have a few of these matches from the mid-season playoffs to cover, and then we have the a couple of show matches. That should be a lot of fun. They're going to be best of 11s, which is a number we don't usually cast. Yeah, it could have been the Ducklings. I'm not sure. TBD forever. But this 24-hour marathon is to fundraise for the OSC World Championships that have been held every year since 2013. This will actually be the 10th championships, huh? Wow. 10-year anniversary of the World Championships for OSC. That's really cool. OSC has been sponsored a lot of tournaments, either monetarily or with their OSC points. And they've put on a ton of tournaments. There's been over $1 million in prize pools with OSC events, and been going on for a long time. Clearly, over 10 years. Oh, it was Light. Light VIP did the Community Open. Kozan did the 2v2 Cup. Dave and Jordan did the King of the Hill, and Jordan did the Rising Star. There you go. Thank you, Eddie. Eddie has been running OSC for a long time. And for me, personally, has been an instrumental part on why I've been able to cast StarCraft for the last 5 years. So thank you, Eddie, for continuing to support StarCraft and all of us. We all really appreciate it. Even those who don't know who you are, they appreciate what you do. And Wayne, he decided, you know what worked in game 1? Mutas. Let's do that again. And I don't think Spirit knows about this. Spirit has not been on Wayne's side of the map in a hot minute. All he's seen is a few lings. And he's getting ready for, you know, like a Marine tank standard game. He does have some missile turrets around, so I guess he is thinking about it. Maybe this has been more common for Wayne recently, just lings into mutas. Because Spirit seems pretty ready for it. Stim is done, so these Marines can take that fight if they want to. Only one medevac, though, so they're just trying to play it safe for now. Mutas will kill the gas geyser and then just get out of there. Very important for Wayne not to lose any of those mutas. He has 11 of them. He's getting +1. And he's going to try to snowball them. So right now, he wants to get some damage done, but it's way more important to not lose any. They can take damage. They have fast regen. They can kill some SCVs or maybe try to trim off like this Wounded Hellion if it runs too far forward. Forcing a stim is nice, and there he goes. He gets it. But not losing any mutas is the key. He has not lost a single one. In fact, only one Ling and one Overseer going down. So pretty, not a lot of fighting happening in this game. The mutas are going to see the tanks unsiege, and now Wayne knows he's coming. I don't think there's a Baneling nest, though. So it's just going to be Ling Muta up against this Terran army. I'm pretty worried for Wayne, because I don't think Ling Muta beats this many Marines. Especially not when there's a few Hellions still mixed in, a couple of siege tanks, 3 medevacs. There's a big stim out of Spirit to start this off. He's going to siege up those tanks, and Wayne is going to be forced to pull everything back. He does have 21 mutas, but there are 55 Marines. And while a few of them are going to get picked off here at the start, I don't know. I'm feeling a little bit of concern right now for Wayne. The Lings are going to dive in on top of this. The mutas are following it up. Does he have enough to break on through this Terran army? He's trying to kill the Marines, but the medevac healing might just be too much. The Lings are all dead. Oh, and more Marines show up. They stim. The mutas are getting pushed back. The mutas are so low, and they're starting to fall, but the Marine count is down to nothing. The medevac's trying to leave. They boost backwards, but hold the phone here. The Mutas are winning the fight. That +1 kicking in. And the siege tanks are going to do some good damage here, but they're left for dead. The Mutas doing the right thing and just pushing back across the map. More Mutas in production for Wayne. Now, Spirit does have some stuff back at home. Of course, he still has turrets to fall back to. A lot of Mutas died in that fight. 11 of them going down. But there are still 13 out on the map, and that's still a lot of harassment potential here that now Spirit's going to have a much tougher time fighting against. I cannot believe he held that off without Banelings. That is so insane to me that Ling Muta was able to take that fight against 55 Marines and a few Siege Tanks and Hellions. Like, that feels like it should be impossible. Spirit, he's going to go for it again. He has a third base. Oh, the Muta's catching some of these Marines on the backside. They're trying to run away and join up with the rest here. Wayne doing such a good job. There's only one medevac with this army, so a stim is very painful here for Spirit. He's not going to have a lot of healing power. Are there enough Lings and Mutas to take this fight again? I don't know. After that last one, I feel like the answer has to be yes. He's going to go for it, bringing the Mutas in to pick off a tank, but the Lings die immediately. Some of the Lings are on the other side of the map, killing some SCVs, forcing this third to lift. But now Wayne's third is in some trouble. He does not have a fourth base. He kind of has to protect this. I don't know if he can, though. Oh, the Marines are winning the fight this time, guys. There's not enough Lings on the ground, and the Mutas are going to fly back in and die, and that is going to be that. Spirit will get the 3-1 victory over Wayne. Wayne, despite somehow killing that army and pushing it back, it must have just been too expensive. And then I think the big thing there is not actually the money as much as it is the larva. Lings take a huge amount of larva. And if you just don't have enough bases, you only had 3 hatcheries, you're not going to be able to resupply enough Lings to take that fight again and again and again. And Spirit making the right call, pushing straight back across the map once he had a good group of Marines again. Not waiting for medevacs, not waiting to give his opponent time. Spirit gets the win. And that means Spirit will move on.